What is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving into the Kizuna Moria 10-star with the EXP MOMO teams to take down your assists for the upcoming 10-star event. So, diving off straight away into the int fight, we are using double Momo as our captains. I was going to try and use Roger and stuff, but I feel like everyone has Momo, everyone's leveled up Momo. It's probably a little bit easier for this, and look, Momo, he's just so good when it comes to this type of stuff. So, Cerebrals, I believe Free Spirit and Shooters get the good stuff. On turn 2, you get a top right action bind or silence, 2 turns of a chain multiplier of 2.5 or less and attack down, and then a tap timing for 4 good taps. Very annoying stuff. On the final stage, after level 31, because all these teams are designed for that, there's the regular Kizuna stuff, 5 turns of action bind on your left-hand column, another slot barrier for 2 int orbs, attack down if you have strength decks with quick orbs, full ward of block orbs, full immunity except for increased damage taken, normal attacks only, 6 turns of bind on your bottom row after sockets, 2 turns special reverse on your captains, and then a intimidation if you use an attack boost or an orb buff, reducing it by 1 turn, I believe. So, as mentioned, using double Momo is always fun, because you auto-proc the Momo special on turn 1. Doesn't even matter if you can get his special ready to go, because he's just going to have his special ready with just proccing turn 1. We don't actually need his special anyway. He has good utility, but like we don't need that today. On turn 1, we're going to bing the Kid Luffy special for 5 turns of orbs. Basically, if you don't have Kid Luffy, you can just replace Kid Luffy with like any other 3-turn orb booster. Ideally, you want it to be a Luffy unit, so that way you trigger the Sanji passive, the Frankie passive, as well as the super type for Momo. Frankie on turn 2 is going to give you 3 turns of color affinity. You can carry that into the final stage, because on the final stage, you're not going to be able to use your left column units. It's just the way it is. Use the super type of Momo on turn 2 as well. That'll get around the block orbs, and then you can use Sanji to remove the barrier. If you have a Luffy on the team, he removes 1 turn of barriers, 1 turn of damage null, and gives you a chain boundary starting at 2.5. It's a perfect unit for this fight. Utilize him there, and you're going to be absolutely fine. On the final stage, you'll have orb boosting, attack boosting, color affinity, the chain boost again, to a chain boundary with Sanji again, and then you can just use like anyone else that you want. I chose Nami. Nami's great because she can give a base stat, a chain boost, all the fun stuff. And she works very, very nicely. So, team is going to work fairly easily. That way we move on to the quick fight, which is a bit more of a doozy. On Battle 1, your Dex Quicken units get all the good stuff. You get a 50% HP cut on turn 2. Your left-hand column gets binded, and then you also get block slots. There's 100,000 damage on defeat as well. On level 30 plus, there is an attack down if you're below a 4 times chain, which is massive. 3 turns of a slot effect boost at 1.1, so you don't want to deal with that. Intimidation, that reduces the turn effects by 1 on base attack boosts. Full immunity except for the delay, normal attacks only, special reverse on your captains, 5 turns of silence on your left-hand column. So again, you want to use all your characters on turn 2. And then if you use a chain addition boost, set chain multiplier, or an attack boost, you're going to have to deal with 4 turns of damage reduction and threshold. So, the way the team kind of rocks, it looks a little bit like this. Now, as I mentioned, you do want to use everything on turn 2 that is on your left-hand column. Roger's great because he can remove the bind, but if you have him on the right-hand side, then you're kind of losing out on a special. Lucky for us, Momo removes bind, he puts it into his attack boost, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you're good to go. Roger's going to give you 3 turns of base stat boost, so you don't have to worry about the Intimidate that way. You can use the super swap of Robin Koala, use the Robin Koala special, that way you get a 3-turn orb buff, and then the 2 turns of color affinity carrying into the final stage. It works out just really, really nicely. Robin Koala just showing how valuable they actually are. The super type of Momo on that turn will take care of any block orbs or any shenanigans there, and basically you just move on to the final stage. On the final stage, you are going to have to deal with damage reduction and threshold, because we're going to be utilizing the special of Sanji. Now remember, your captains, they get 10 turns of special rewind. You're not going to have them, but you do have your sailors. Sanji's going to give you chain boundary, which is great. He's going to give you base stats as well, but we can't get that. But then with his super class, he actually gives the chain boost as well. Because you're setting the chain multiplier, though, you are going to have to deal with the damage reduction and threshold, and that's where this Anniversary Zora comes into play. Your captain should have a Wano orb as well, so you get all the fun stuff here. He removes it by 6 turns, he gives you tap timing, and then the chain multiplicative buff. So with that, you have all of your chain shenanigans. You have an attack boost, orb boost, base stat, color affinity. You're pretty much good to go. We don't have any like craziness with like super tandems or final taps, but I believe you can probably get Sanji's rush off, which is a lot of fun too. On to the final variation, we look at Sai, and For Sai, we're using Momo once again because there is Resilience on turn 2. Free Spirit, Cerebrals, and Powerhouse get all the good stuff. As I mentioned on turn 2, Resilience, Lock Slots, Threshold, and Block Orbs. And then on the final stage, after level 31, you're going to have to deal with the regular Kizuna stuff, 50% HP cut, only allowing you to use 2 specials 2 times, a damage limiter for 5 turns, only dealing 70% damage, full immunity except Ignite, normal attacks only, Despair on your captains, but for 6 turns after sockets, attack down if you're below a 3 chain, then Intimidation for 2 turns, that is going to reduce your slot effect boost by 1 turn. On death, there's 150,000 damage, and it's a little bit annoying. So, once again, as mentioned, Momo is the guy. On turn 2, he can deal with the block orbs, he can get around the resilience, because if he's end of turn damage, it works out really, really nicely. To get around the threshold, though, we do have the free-to-play Luffy here. I brought him because he's a Luffy character. He can use the Rayleigh support. He gives you color affinity on that turn too, but look, I don't think you're going to need it. On the final stage, you can utilize the super swap of Robin Koala. Again, Robin Koala is so good. Utilize their special. They're going to lose 1 turn of their orb boost, but the 2 turns is enough to get it done because you do have that damage limiter there. Plus, they're going to be your color affinity for 2 turns as well. As for all the rest of your shenanigans, you're going to use the Shanks special. He's going to give you base stats, chain boost, all that fun stuff. As well as use the Yasop support to get around some more Despair. We have Conjurer to get around Despair. And then finally, on the second turn, you can super swap with Carrot and Nami. And then you can use the Carrot Nami special to give yourself a chain boundary as well as damage reduction. Look, it should be enough damage. I don't really see it having too much of an issue. But again, if you want, you can just replace like Carrot Nami with someone else that gives you like 2 turns damage reduction. Off the top of my head, there is a free-to-play Yamato that would work fine. But then you're going to lose, obviously, the damage that Carrot and Nami provide. So they're the EXP teams. Double Momo getting it done as per usual. I don't really know how much EXP teams will be valuable in the future, but especially for these Super Boss events. So let me know down below if you guys still use them, if you guys still want to see them. But while you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.